Okay, dude, give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna grab something to eat, and I'll be back in 10.
No worries, take your time. Yeah, sweet, see do it. Bum, bum, bum. I'm loving it. Loving it. Hello, people. Hey, Mary. Hey, RCA. What time is it for you? It's 12:30. 12:30 today. It's 12:30. Do 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 do. 12:30. Yeah, not really late. Ooh, although I am tired, apparently. Okay, let's. So, we got stuff to fix. Yesterday, we had a really good meeting with Drew. He got to play some of not the version you guys have. He actually got to play a newer version, but that is still broken, so a lot of bugs. But it's still better than the one you guys have, which is funny enough. But the reason why we haven't released the new one that we have is because there's still a couple obvious bugs that we're just trying to fix. So there's no point in you, like the problem is, right, there's no point in releasing a version that has bugs that, like, significant gameplay bugs that we're working on, when it could take a day and then we'll release another. Like, it's just no, like, it's just not worth it. Like, you're not gonna get enough of a gameplay change to feel like it's worth the change. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like releasing a new update every time we, like, change something in the UI, or like change the image of the stamina bar. It's like it just doesn't affect gameplay enough to be like, yeah, this is actually a new thing. That because also we want the feedback, because this is the thing, right? The updates, right? We want the feedback that we get from that to also be, like, useful. So there's no point in releasing an update that the feedback is going to just tell us the things that we're working on. So it's like, when we release an update, it's also to help us in our dev process to be like, okay, what do we need to work on? What is the priority? What works? What doesn't? That kind of thing. But then if we're just releasing an update for no, for just because people feel like they want another thing, it's like, well, keep with the one you want at the moment while we work on the feedback from that one. Then we'll use that feedback to use this one. Then based on this one, you know what I mean? So you can actually, because then it's like, it's not improved. Like, you're iterating without improving. Basically, it's just like, what's better? Realistic. It's like, okay, but like, this version is better. But let's just clean it up so you guys can actually play it more. Right? There's no point half fixing a problem and then releasing it. You may as well fix the problems, release it. It may take a week or two more, but there's less problems. And I'm sure most people would prefer that. So that is my mindset. And the mindset that we have for. Um, I need to fix some stuff, a lot of stuff. The first thing I want to fix is I do something sus. Yeah, there's some sus stuff going on. I'd made some changes with the the ledge, the tank when it cancels out. I want to get rid of that, and then I'll go through separately. But basically, in here, when I blend out here, okay, so update icon sync points. Um, for now, there's gonna be a snap, but I want to get all the separate to the IK. I want to get all the motion correct. So I'm going to turn off IK for now. Well, not turn off, but revert it back to the previous way I was doing it. In terms of with the sync points and the and the whatever. And yeah, gonna revert that back. To how I was doing it before. Yes, that resets everything. It just made more sense when you had it that way. And then when the montage blend out, we reset the IK data, and that kills the sync points, the active kills the active item type, kills the ledge round stuff, blah blah. And then we say all that stuff there. So, and the general montage ended. I don't like this. I don't like the use of this because it's in here. It's like if the one's previous, then set that to false, and then do it to this, and then check if that is that, and then when that's done there, we do something else, and it's just like there's too much. Like it just doesn't. It's just not nice. Do I use it anywhere else? Hopefully, I do not. I do not. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And so once the montage has ended, currently nothing happens. Now this thing here, I'm intrigued to know if this is making a difference. I don't think it is. So I'm gonna take it off for now. But yeah, I'm intrigued to know. Okay, so let me. Yeah, so basically, I just want to get you climbing around properly, and then once I get it climbing, picks it. I need to fix some of the issues that seem to be happening with the some of the jump vault. The first thing I want to fix, the most important thing, is collisions. There's just something highly sus. It's like that is very wrong, right? There's something there that's just incredibly wrong. And so I need to sort that out. Now, that should be askew. So what the first thing I need to do, that stuff like there, that's the first thing. Okay, so in here, so I changed this here and I said basically if yeah ah oh that's wrong. So if it has no rest time, That's why so many of them were wrong. I was wondering, I was like, what the fuck? So basically, I'm saying here, if it has no rest time, all the hands rest before you take off, then you need to do a scale warp, which is wrong. I don't want you to scale warp. I want you to skew warp. Simply put, I want you to skew warp. Um, what I'm gonna change this. Um, and I'm just gonna say if. Yeah, no, what I see. I was wondering why I was being so shite for a lot of them. Is equal to. I think if you're doing a step up, I want you to scale. Otherwise, I want you to skew. Simple as pie. Right? Very easy, very simple, very straightforward. Um. Okay, cool. Now that should hopefully fix a bunch of issues with Yeah, that should hopefully fix a bunch of problems. Actually, see, yeah, it fixed a bunch of problems with those stuff. Wow, it really filtered out a lot of animations there. Yeah, see, and it fixed those animations there. Oh, what is? Nah, those black foot markers look completely sus. Nah, how do I turn that off? Oh, what's going on here? Yeah. What's going on with this thing? Put you in between the TVs. Why is my thing being crap today? Oh, God. It seems a bit tight. Something's going on. I don't know what it is, but anyway. Anywho. Um, yeah, sure. How do I take off this? What's going on here? What is, oh my. Okay. I'm gonna disconnect that. Okay. Is there meant to be a decal on the thing? See, this is what's crazy with this one is that there is such a the reason why you don't pick that is because there's this weird gap. Like even though I heavily prioritize the scale of the thing, there's a weird. You see, that's so much better. It was such a oh man. I wish I made this change yesterday. It would have fixed a ton of problems. Yeah, all the jumps are now correct. See the volt. See this stuff here. With a Z scale of 1.8, it just shouldn't pick it. Right? It's pretty, but I need to see what the shit if because my issue is that I don't think there's any other animation that's even getting possibly picked up. Thing with this function, right, though, it does a ton of traces that we already do, like a trace for the wall decal. With we so like we already detect that we hold the ledge normal and ledge locations. Um, okay, well, we can do that. We can go through it together. I'm gonna leave it off for now. Um, look. Um, see. Yeah. I guess it's less so exposing the trace, is more just exposing the ledge data. I'll make a function quickly. Actually, I'll do that in a bit. I'll just make a function that exposes the any information about the ledge, so the location, the normal, the actor, all that stuff. We already store it all. It's literally in this get ledge data struct. Um, so we just need to actually put down a character thing. Okay, I fix that. A couple problems there. There's something going on with the filtering. I need to see because it doesn't seem to be picking a good animation in that scenario. Um, it might just be a case because I think what's happening is getting to a point where all the other animations are filtered out, and then it finds that one. It's like, oh, cool, pick it. But the Z of it is terrible. So I think we need to have maybe 1.8 is just too much. We probably need a minimum accepted value. 1.8 just seems like crazy. So let me actually. Probably 1.5, like 50%. Like, yeah, anything more than that, it's gonna look funky, isn't it? Really, if we're honest with ourselves. So 1.5 is, yeah. So 1.5 and then 0.7. Yeah, I think within that range we can cover most things. Really, even 0.7 I don't really like because I don't like bringing down. I think 0.8. I don't like it. It's gotta be within that. Um, and then what I'm actually gonna end up doing as well is um, that's my jump scale clamped. When I clamp my values now, all this valid data needs to be fucking checked out. I'm gonna clamp it between. Oh, go away. Um, less than 1.5. Even that seems like a lot to be honest, but we leave that for now. Um, yeah, when I clamp my values, then a 0.5 clamp looks like just a bit ugly. They just clamp between 0 and 8, 0.8. Like any 0.8 and 1.5, right? Like it can't go below that. Those are just way more stricter clamps, so hopefully preserves the integrity of the animation way better. This might have a coverage problem, but I don't like it anyway without it. So um, the forward one we clamp, but we don't restrict. So if you look at my filter, I only check if it's less than 1.5, not if it's greater than thingy. But because I don't care if you're too close, I still want you to clamp, and I'll just let you run into the wall. Um, in order to allow for coverage. But I care if you're too far back because you'll make the wall. Because it'll be just like, phew. And I still clamp the forward basically. But now what I've got to be clever about this, right, is that The issue with this, right, is um the problem with this is that we'll have to um hmm, the problem with this is that we can only hmm, yeah, I guess the problem with this is that we can only really do that if yeah, yeah, the problem with that is we can only do it if yeah, we can only do it if we keep the collisions on the whole time. Because you could reach a point. Because the problem is, what I'm saying, if you're too close, then I just turn off collisions. But by turning off collisions, massive issue, because then you just freaking go through the surface and go in and out. We need to be hyper critical when we actually turn off collisions. I think that's the next thing I gotta do. I'm gonna make this change now. Make sure it still picks animations. It's fine. So now the IK really shouldn't have to do a whole bunch. Yeah, see, it picks a different one now. See, that's just better. It picks a different one because we have way more of a. See that one, fine, because you're moving at a certain speed and whatnot. Okay, that's much. I much prefer this. There's no IK right now, which is cool. See, that is the only issue that I have. That slide there because it really prioritizes height, and that one has a really low Z scale. Um, that one has a pretty big XY scale. So you see, like a 1.5 XY scale just doesn't. I get
There
back
you
on
go.
that.
Back, David.
Hello. See, now I don't have coverage for that. Shiza. Shit. Um. Shit. One awkward height. It's a really awkward height. Um. Sorry, Daddy. Yeah, just give me 2 minutes. I'm just fixing off a
Yeah, no
couple of
thanks.
things. Oh, the clamp is gonna be wrong. Um. We need more coverage basically because we want to reduce this value here. Because there was literally a height there that we actually had no coverage for, even in the scale, which you wouldn't think is the case, but clearly is. Um, so we really want to reduce this value by as much as possible, and this. Um, so it's just that awkward height, right? But we need to aim to reduce that. Well, it depends. Run ups about 15, 10 to 15. Wall pops about 30. Um, but they're like the issue is it's not necessarily the number of animations, it's the number of variation amongst those animations. Like a lot of them are on a similar height, which is the problem. So you need like a lot of variation in height, almost like if we were to do it, we'd get stuff that you could actually adjust the heights so that you can just be like, this is a 1.8, this is a 1.9, this is a 2 meter climb up, and like vary it and do a bunch of different ones for each one, and then you theoretically then cover bases for all that stuff. And it's like, okay, well, we know one of them will scale. Um, the next most obsession. Bonjour, Noma. How art thou on this fine Sunday afternoon. Sunday? Is it? It's not Sunday today. It's what day is it? I don't even know. Yeah, I mean you could do that procedurally, but we just scale and adjust the animation. But you really want to minimize how much you adjust the root motion. So like we scale the root motion by 1 point something or 0 point something to make it go to adjust to the wall. But like if you can bring that, if you can have enough coverage to bring that number down to like 1.2 and 0.9 between that range there, so you're doing like a 20%. It's Thursday. Oh shit. Uh, then you know it's gonna look. Yeah, I might drop this to like 1.3. Whereas, I know my couple of my mates right now. They're just like, yes, I know. Lord. See that animation there. For that to pick 1606 is crazy. 1606 to pick on a wall of that height. How high does it think the wall is? Do you know what I think is happening in terms of ledge height? It thinks it's taking from the bottom bit. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna now just have a look at these filter weights. Um, because I think we really need to prioritize. Yeah, data science is it's a good old data science tool. Hey Foxtrot, how are you? How art thou on today's day? Um, Man, see, just dropping those scales just made it load better. Um, I wonder if I could even drop it further. Don't trust him, mate. That sounds suspicious. Suspicious as fuck. I was like, what kind of data? He's trying to find out information, Noma. Don't trust Alex. Sounds sus. Very sus. Hmm. 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 Um. Okay, let's see this XY here. Because I feel like they must. The thing is, it's not. I guess it's not necessarily the XY because that is the scale, right? It's actually what is the XY because it's gonna be hella off because the hands plant before. So I think the XY just needs to have more precedent in there because one of those seems to be a really like. Yeah, I think it just doesn't have enough weight. The XY. Let me have a look here. It's a real balancing act. That's the only thing. Let's you know what let's because before I was always like, oh, it's all about height, but it's also about how far the pull forward makes a big difference. So, let's actually have a look. Let's weight that heavily, but then I don't want to. an XY to take precedence over Z. It's such a. This is when like AI would be really cool, but then you need like, I need to be like, oh, like both are super important. See, because then this happens, which is the exact 3345. Although this has the worst XY weight. That's what's crazy. It has a weight of 1, which is by far the worst one. So you'd think that would. You know, what I'm gonna do? Let me weight it even lower. Like you had an out, like just run an AI, and you could tell it whether or not it was a good choice or a bad choice. And if that in that scenario it's a bad choice, and they say, okay, well, adjust the choices based on that. That's better. Okay, that's a little bit. Yeah, that 30 if 345 shit, like that's a better choice. There's no IK on at the moment, by the way, as well. So ignore the hands not. I also need to go through and adjust the landing times and stuff like that. Yeah. See, it seems that the XY is really the most um important feature beyond the Z. See there, the fact you picked that one is crazy to me. It's the worst weighted one, and it still picked it. Yeah, it's by far the worst weighted. But maybe velocity is weighting too much, too highly. Maybe that's too important. Ooh, this mother trucker. You know, that could be why as well. You know, I'm gonna kill this for now. You know, screw it. Hold up. That could be why the surface width is because velocity is very important as well. You need something that's similar speed. So I don't want to kill the weight on that. Um, but that surface width weight is just. I think that's causing issues. Now my only fear is that it's gonna go ahead and pick a bunch of animations that just take it off the wall every time. Okay, not too bad. Okay, see now hopefully it doesn't pick any shitty ones. Because now I don't really care about surface width. Yeah, I need to adjust dramatically the landing times on some of these animations. I need to really do a pass of every animation anyway and adjust the IK. So I'll do that this week. Well, I'll do that probably tomorrow or today. See, that was so good. You see that sequence there, right? That sequence there had no IK and it looked literally flawless. Like you could, do you know what I mean like and those were all individual. Minus that one there. See, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's really there's a lot of sequences that you're getting now where it's like, oh, bang, and then cut voice. So, do you know what I mean? Like, you know that sequence there. It's pretty like do you know what I mean? Um, there is no IK going on. It's like, okay, yeah, nice. So like, it is okay. This balance seems good. Okay, for now, you know, I'm gonna ignore. Yeah, for now, I'm gonna ignore the. Okay, for now, I'm gonna ignore surface width until we actually add in a. Oh, come on. It had the worst weight. I guess I would weight velocity quite importantly. That one's just a bit. We just need one where it you climb up from closer. Really, that's simple gist of it. There you go. It's a lot better now. Okay, I like this more. That one looks always sus because there's really not many animations that actually fit that one. It's just a little bit too high for the. It's like ever so slightly too high for the wall pops and ever so slightly too low for the run ups. You actually can. Like, yeah. Like, it's actually, this is just terrible. I heard Ghost Future is better. And ours sucks. Okay. I'm happy with this. Okay, I'm checking this in with no surface width thing. And then Dado, let us do the vaults, I think. I really, or decide what we want to do with the vaults. Check this in. Hey, Peter. No worries. We were talking about you yesterday, guns as well. About how terrible of a job you've done with everything. It was mainly Dado. Dado was chatting so much shit. You don't want to. Oh, I checked in that character blueprint change. You might need to unchange. But I joke actually. We were saying it's nice to have someone else. You're doing very good work, and it's good. I know what I mean, right? Come see, come sir. Come see, come sir. Um. Okay. Let us. Yeah, let's clean up this freaking. There's a function. This function is just an absolute mess of a thing. Let's clean this up. So let's do this properly. Ledge distance from takeoff. Yeah, it's either zero. Either you literally by the wall, or you're not. Simple as that. Then additional scale multiplier is going to be yeah, additional scale multiplier. Ah, je ne suis oui. Yeah, additional scale multiplier is gonna be beep 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 beep. We're a little slow getting it. No, Dada does it to me too, man. It'll just like it's one of those. It's like Monday with words of wisdom with Dada. He'll just hit you with a like a impromptu. This is how to improve. Always very useful though. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, there is actually. I think. Will it happen in this level? That is the question. If it doesn't, we all know whose fault that is. Guns. This actually is his fault this time. I joke, but not really. Um, yeah, there will be for this next version. Yeah, there's going to be pause, settings, session marker, time trials, UI, HUD, all that stuff, and they're all going to link up. Tomorrow, probably, I want to add flow to do something. I want the bar to do something, and it's probably just going to be a sequence of how many moves you do in a row, or something like that. And because we were talking about adding score, right? But I think So we're gonna be taking a bit more. I'll just be transparent. There's no point in us lying to you, man. We're gonna take a more of a practical, but like an actual approach to social strategy and how we market the game, how we push it, how we do releases. Because obviously we want people getting it so that we don't go bankrupt, which we already are. But yeah, so no, we release things more iteratively, so that you guys also don't have to wait 6 months per release. Do you know what I mean? It has a bunch of new features. It said we'll just release features one by one, as and how they come, and probably do a more like a gameplay and then content based feature. So you get a gameplay feature of, like, in this case, climbing vaults, whatever it is, or like descents will be the next one, and then precisions, and then strides, and then plyos. Those are all individual releases, and then you'll get a content release, which will be like character select, or character creator, stuff like new menus, new UI, in between, so that to give us time to work, continue finessing, improving, finishing the gameplay features for the next one. So probably a bounce between them. But yeah, should hopefully mean releases are more frequent and you guys get more stuff to do. And then we'll eventually give us time, because like the score system, right, that'll need some time to actually be figured out, to try and find a really meaningful way to do scoring beyond just like, here's 300 points, here's 500. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, the dev videos as well, I think as well, like will I think the next video we'll do will be the 010 release. And then we'll start doing a very like, we'll edit them very well, and like try and find a style that works for us. Although, because there's a part, because like, well enough that the video is like super clean and crisp, and then edited really cleanly, and like has a story. This is the focus of it. What are we discussing? Kind of like that. Even same for this next update video will be very well done and well polished, just so that as a studio ourselves, the content we're producing is getting better. So yeah, that'll be the vibe. What was I gonna do right now? I feel like I'm just opening things up. What was I about to do? Oh yeah, clean up this mode trucker. Ugh, ugh, ugh. God, it's like ugly as hell. Okay, so let's do it. So leisure distance from takeoff is that additional scale multiplier. Let's parameterize that. Um, yeah. Beautiful. Go to you. Goodbye. Um, a score like skate. See, yes. So the thing is, the yeah, it needs to be like, I think because I think the one thing is that, right, like, a score in parkour doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily always the move you do, but it's the context of where in the world and how you do it, which is why I think it's more complicated than just being like, if you bust out this trick in a row, right, your score tallies up. Because I feel like towards a point with skate, yeah, the scoring system, it kind of just went to the back burner, and no one really gave a shit anymore, because it was like, and people just wanted things to look cool. They didn't really give a, like, I remember playing skate, and by the end of playing it, I never even once cared about my score, just because it was like, you could just spam stuff and then go into a manual and keep the score going, and then it was just like speed and height and like time and air would tally up the score. So it's like to feel like a sense of like, whoa, look how high my score is, and like, yo, how the hell did you get that? It's like, rather than just like, okay, how many can you spam in sequence, right? It's like, because like a precision super high, right, that's difficult to do should score more than a precision down low. And it's not that it's, and the height and also the distance of how far you're jumping, and then like stamina, you do all these different things, because like doing something more tired could in essence be higher scoring than doing something when you have maximum energy, because you had to be more precise with it. And then, yeah, there's a lot that can go into it to make it feel like, oh, there's a reason why I got 200 and it makes sense, right? Beyond just like you did this move after having doing 10 moves before it, so then you got 500. What you got the base score times by whatever multiplier, right? It's like, how fast were you going? How high was the obstacle? What was the distance between them? Like, what kind of obstacle? Was it a thin ledge? Was it a thick ledge? Like, what are you trying to do? What was your combination? Were you trying to do a specific type of combination? Is it like a particularly difficult combination of moves? If so, what do we do? Are you on a multiplier? Is your flow high? Did you do something to like you know what I mean? Is the scoring can be is a whole ecosystem of its own, right? Um, so yeah, what am I doing right now? Root distance at takeoff. This is sus, but we'll leave you there. Ledge distance from takeoff. Root distance at takeoff. Okay. Um, left hand. Is the left hand at rest? Is the right hand at rest? Cool. The earliest rest time. The left hand's at rest. It's gonna be the left hand rest time. The right hand's at rest. That, and then if the left hand is at rest and the right hand is at rest, the earliest resting time is gonna equal that, and then really, what we're gonna do here. Earliest resting height. They'll go together. And then earliest resting height here. Go in there and then we can just get rid of you. Lovely. This value here, highly sus. I don't trust it. Oh, just looks ugly. Let's get rid of you. And let's do a little space after each stuff. So if the left hand height around the rest, then we take the minimum resting time and then we do the minimum resting height. And that's what it's gonna be. Cool, so would that tie into a more general difficult versus success system? What do you mean by that? Yeah, because again, it's like first, because I think before we even before we even do any of like how do we determine it, like first of all we have to determine like what is flow, right? Because it's kind of this thing that isn't really quantifiable, right? Like you look at like Josh, right? For let's use him as an example. The way he moves, you just say that guy has flow, right? It's just such an it's almost the whole essence of it is that you can't explain it. You know what I mean? Or it's just like it's with skating when you say, "Oh, that guy has some serious style and just steez," right? It's like okay, why does he have steez? It's like it's just how he moves. Like it's you can't put it into words, but you watch it and you're just like, yeah, it's just how they do this. It's how they do it, right? It's not even necessarily what they're doing. It's just the way they do it. It's just flowy or stylish, right? Um, and in that case, is it a scoring thing? Can you take something that's completely subjective and like unquantifiable and then try and assign a value to it? That's quite difficult to do. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in terms of determining the move is successful. Um, but I think it's almost like we can't do too much, right? Because we don't want it to be like the player needs to think about 50 things to know whether or not they're gonna land it, right? It needs to almost be like the things that that's obvious to the player are gonna be the determining factors, right? It shouldn't be like, because then it becomes like an, so like the MMO, right? um, it's like um, in MMO you have like, oh my health is X and my thing is Y, and then from based on my X and and it's like I like I don't, it shouldn't have to be like I look at my stats and then all these things and then increasing and I get multiplying in the stats, and it's like, damn man, for like an average player, like it's just like nah. Do you know what I mean? From like a gamer, right? It's it's cool, but like for an average player, they don't want to have to like check my stats and check my stamina and check my flow and check 10 different things as a reason why this thing didn't happen. It's like, oh, you know, I was too short. Oh, I was too far. Oh, I didn't have enough stamina. Oh, I just underdid it, or stuff like the basic things. Like that is what, because when you watch the videos, oh, he just missed it, or oh, he was too put too much power, or put too much effort. When it starts going into like you didn't have enough confidence and your flow was too low and like there was too much of a high, and it's like there's too much. It's just too complicated, right? And the system it becomes like, again, it takes away from the whole thing where you want to pick up the controller and just chill. Like it should just be a chill, like smooth experience, and like if you mess up you're like, ah shit, it's obvious why you messed up, right? And not have to think about, okay, let me optimize my stats to put this amount of confidence into this and like change my stat points so that this guy has more thing. And it's like, yeah, it's like, it's just, yeah, it kills I just kills the vibe, I think. I don't know. Yeah, Jimmy, because but I think like only like 5% of players are hardcore, like if not less, are like hardcore players. So it's like if we make the game for the general, for most people, right, and then those players can find ways to make it more complex for themselves, even though it's going to be complex in itself, right? Because I mean, yesterday we drew, and with this broken version, we were playing for like 2.5 hours, right? Um, and he was always he was exploring parts of the map and finding new things to do, and then we'd say like, I'll try this, and then he'd do that and spend 10 minutes on that, and yeah, it's almost like a part of its brokenness made it really fun because it was difficult. You would never get anything first time, which was nice. Okay, now, okay, so this here, so the Z scale. If the earliest resting time is after, so you jump Z scale. Something starts here. Root height at hand rest. Yeah, because this is for my jump. You know, I just there's got to be a balance, right? Like there's something about there's something about how do I even play? Like how do I even say it? Like there's something about um different systems in one game that, oh, I get it, like appeals to more players. But then you have to then look at like, okay, well, what if people now play to? Because it's also got to be multiplayer, right? Okay, so now if people play together and they're using different systems, how do we address that, right? Because then someone has to be penalized, right, or like incentivized, right? Like there has to be some kind of handicap or vice versa. Yeah, no, well, I think even as a general, even like we assign points just doesn't work yet, even for like a general thing. Like you can't just be like a cat pass is 50 points. Like that just doesn't work. Like that's why we haven't done scoring yet. It's because like assign points, we tried it and it just does. It's so meaningless. Like general hardcore, regardless, you have to make it like so that's why I'm saying it's complex, because you have to make it understandable enough where you can be like, after like 20 minutes you get the scoring, and not like you're learning the scoring 20 hours later, right? And you're like, oh shit, so if I do, like, you know what I mean? Because then it's like it becomes like MMO games, right? And it's like it loses the essence of being that chill out, like, yeah, like relaxing like experience, and like play with friends and have fun, right? um uh because then it's like it's not like an Elden Ring. Like you don't want to have to optimize your stats. Like Jimmy, it's not Elden Ring. It's not. You mean it's not like those kind of games where you optimize stats and then you do that and then you choose the right, like, it shouldn't be as complex as that in terms of what matters in that sense. I'm talking about the stats being invisible. Yeah, yeah, like stats will be invisible, and you can just kind of see who's better at what, right? Because there's no issues having stats like, um, yeah, I have played Riders Republic. I mean, personally, the simple mode sucks because they use buttons. Like I said again, buttons just suck. Because it's just like you're doing like a triple flip, right? But you're pressing one button. You're just pressing like you do like a freaking tail whip. And you just press square, and it's just like do you know what I mean? It's like, well then, and then each move is less impressive, right? So, yeah, and then their complex mode again is a bit different. But like for I think it's just like we just wouldn't even have the simple mode because I feel that simple mode is just shit. So I think like if we could find a good enough balance, you won't need to have both. That's what I think is the aim, right? Because then it's like if it's complex enough where it's not simple and like most players are gonna do it, it should be complex enough where like to then make it more complex is you're just making a sim game and that's just a different game in general. Like it's finding that balance that appeals to the casual and the hardcore, but probably more to the casual because there's more of them, but not to like an arcadey vibe.
David,
Yo.
am I still on the? Are you still on the voice chat?
Yeah, I'm right here. Could you hear me?
Yeah. I can. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I didn't know if you could hear me.
Oh no, yeah, we can.
Yeah. If I look at my screen, I think I fixed that problem of the landing being like you needed to wait until like, it was like banging off everything to get the next move. It works like very well. I'm not sure about the the rolls yet, but
Let's see.
right.
Let's
Have a
do
look
it.
at this, right? Let me know if when you got the.
Yeah, your thing's on the screen for everyone.
So I wanna. There are two walls there, okay? That they're very close to each other, well, relatively close. And before it would just like climb over one wall, and then it would be just like doing all of the falling stuff, and then it will eventually climb up. Now, if I just press climb all the time, right? Okay, what happens now? It goes here, right? Climbs, it lands, and then it climbs again.
Yeah, that's so much better. That's so much better.
Like, you didn't have any. Actually, one thing that we need to add, like you can blend out two different climbs, which I think like it's a little bit sus, but yeah, you can get. I think like there you can get a lot more like because you land and then boom.
Yeah, land you can go
go
into the
again.
next one. Yeah, that's much better. That's a lot nicer.
So
I guess it's
I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
so with that as well, have you got latest by chance, by the
way? Latest as of yesterday.
No, okay, yeah, no, you wouldn't have got it. I fixed a lot of the issues with that vault there.
Okay, yeah. Because
it was a massive thing. Was doing it wrong.
I was saying sometimes like you can vault, like you can climb forever, and I really no. I mean, it looks good, yeah, but there, you see, like
yeah. No, I fixed a lot of those problems, yeah. Okay. And yeah,
okay, so
because you can blend straight out and then it picks one because it doesn't actually pull you to the point. Yeah, stuff like that is wrong. Like you shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think it picks the like previous points and stuff. There was something I had with the blend out and not killing the climb mode. So I've changed that now. So that shouldn't be the case hopefully. But I'm gonna test in Sam's level to make sure.
Yeah. So I think if you fix that bug, then this will work very well. It's just like. It just feels a lot more.
Yeah, way better.
More responsive.
I guess that's perfect.
You can decide what to do it when to do it.
I mean, with IK, there's no IK, so with IK that'll look even nicer. Like once I get that blend between the two different IK ones better, and I'm doing collisions next once I clean up this function in a minute. So that will sort that stuff out there. And then I think the next what we can really do is like tweak the landing to accommodate, like if you are holding climb, right, you need to like almost, because what would be really cool there is that if it landed and then went like almost like the way it landed was in anticipation of going into another climb, right? Like, so the fall or whatever it chose, like if you're still holding the left trigger, right, and you want to go straight into the next climb, it's sort of like the land and is like in anticipation of you're gonna pick another one, so that the blend will be way smoother. Yeah, I need to suss that out, because one thing I need to also check is that you're gonna take off in the climb, not off the air, like
because
you can do that there.
He's
Right?
doing it all the time. But did you say you fixed this one? You fixed that?
I'm gonna check. I don't know about the one that the fix. There was something I had wrong with the scale stuff, and it was doing the wrong thing. So I don't think that problem will happen again. I'm gonna debug it now in a bit.
What is strange is that like that like direction works fine, but the same wall, like this direction, it doesn't. Oh, I know why. Because it doesn't fall. Okay, yeah. So this is like another thing, right? Like so for example, let's go here actually, right? If we go here and you like, if you don't fall, right? But you still got a gap and you climb. You just casually walk off like Jesus Christ, like that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna So this the fix I want to add is I want to basically say, are you gonna take off on the ground as like a filter, right? So like given like your takeoff point, right? Are you gonna be on the ground? Because like there, it should never pick that animation. That's impossible to do, right? You should either take off beforehand or you just don't do it, right? So we need a filter out that checks, given my take, because we know how far away from the face the takeoff is going to be, right? So we say, okay, well, given how far away I'm going to be, right?
Yeah, that is nice. Okay.
Yeah. Given, we can either do two things, right? We can either say, you can, two things. We can just say, filter out the climb if my takeoff, I'm not going to be on the ground, or my foot that's taking off isn't going to be planted or whatever. Or we say, you can do it, but during the climb, if before takeoff you're not grounded the entire time, then that's going to be a problem. Like if basically during takeoff and between like phase in and takeoff, your character needs to be grounded, like your feet need to be on the ground. If not, you fall.
Or like basically you bail, right?
You bail,
like,
so you just like which could be quite cool to be fair. So like it picks it and then it's like, oh shiza.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to even ragdoll at that point. You know, a ragdoll there might be quite interesting, because I think although it's going to be like quite dramatic, it might be pretty cool, because I think it could be like you start the run up and then you just go whoop, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had the ragdoll on this exactly the same scenario of the jumps, and the weird thing about that is like you can do incredible shit in the game. Like you can jump like 10 meters down and roll and doing super cool, and then like you're like 30 centimeters off the ground but with the wrong foot, and then you ragdoll.
Yeah.
That is it.
I might just do that. I might add the takeoff thing and see how that feels, and then we'll look at both. Up until when we have actual bails, we can actually look at, okay, how do we, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Guns, we need to fix these rails at some point. Actually, it may be a coding issue, but of some sort, but I can't really understand it. I try to understand, but I can't. Oh yeah, I got a really weird case in which he ragdolls very often for some reason. Yeah, I mean, I think
there's gonna be some weird cool. There's a couple things. Yeah, so once I add that takeoff change, which I'll do that now, it seems quite important. Then some of the warp stuff should be fixed, but I'm gonna quickly actually, well, priority word wise, I'm gonna finish just cleaning up this function. Then I'm gonna sort out the collisions, and then I'm gonna add the takeoff check. So hopefully that problem there goes away, and then we can assess where we're at, and then we can add the volts together because or have a look at what we're saying with the volts, and well, cleaning up also the distance values and stuff like that in that get jump scale unclamp function. I think we might need to really do that.
Yeah, I think like that is a good change. So yeah, we can get.
No, definitely. All right, let me crack on with that. See, now the reason why it has a mirror's edge vibe is obviously because of the level, right? It's a white box. I actually hate that comparison. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Which is like the
It
one
should
thing
be
about white box levels, right? It does give mirror's edgy vibes. Like you can't even deny it.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I hate that comparison. Although like mirror's edge is a great game. That's not what I'm saying.
So did we ever find out why, like, on some climb maps, right? The feet just like they don't slide. They basically translate towards the like the
Oh,
blending makes them like
yeah. Is that what
hovering
after or before? Both,
before.
really.
I mean,
Both, both.
yeah, we got problem on both side of.
Also, question with the after. I actually made a change that I think fixed it. It
Ah,
was I
nice.
think because for the jumps, you know how the jumps after you would jump, land, and slide, right?
Yeah,
I
like
made a
that.
change where it fixed it because basically I updated
Okay.
the scale warp back to 0, back to 1 after the blend out, and then it actually stopped doing it. Which is super stupid, right? You think like, why is it doing it? But apparently, but yeah, we can have a look at some stuff because I think it was right. It was taking the scale previously and following it across, which is super strange. But we can when we go to the vaults, we have a look at it. The climb, there was a big problem with the field waiting on the yeah, there was a big problem. Oh yeah, no, bread and butter, we fixed that. Yeah, Dada, you know the problem where you can, if you try to
Yeah,
turn moving left to right, Josh would decelerate.
yeah,
We fixed that, right? Didn't we? Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was one of the first fixes that we.
yeah. Sorry, bread. Yeah, bread and butter. That problem's fixed. I know what when you're on about. Someone had like you can like twist. It would like pull you back, or like would decelerate massively. But yeah, we fixed that. Sorry. Um. Okay, let me clean this up quickly. I'm not gonna change any logic in here for now. Okay, you know what? For now, I'm just gonna. I don't want to say whose fault it was, but just saying.
But we all
I'm
know.
just saying. So what I'm saying, I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna leave this function for now. Let's sort out collisions. Euphoria type ragdoll. So we had remember Dada, your ragdoll system was you had one where we did like a test on it, right? And the ragdoll was it was a lot better because like if you fell, it would like try and cover your head to like protect your head and roll, and it had just way better like ragdolling. And like you said, like try and stabilize. Yeah, there's a balance with that because there's something about the um crash ragdoll. It just looks quite fun when your guy just gets thrown around. Like it's like, yeah. I mean, we want to add bales so that you don't actually ragdoll, like, unless you like, it's pretty obvious, right? Unless you like freaking splat from however high up. Uh, but yeah, I don't like this. This is something sus, very sus. I don't like this. This seems suspicious, highly suspicious. If I got rid of this, right, and I just put it into the blend out. Yeah, no, Ragdoll's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It is a great. They're really fun systems. Got to do them right, and if you do it right, it's really cool. But yeah, it's important to. Let me see what happens if I with that change where I don't re-enable collision in the thing. Yeah, I mean the whole the bail thing is gay. The Ragdoll in a lot of games is just a lot of fun, right? So a lot of people love it. So it's definitely something to. This screen message is pissing me. Oh crap! This is all wrong. Très bien. Oh, it wasn't even because I have a bunch of errors. That makes sense. So get jump scale unclamped. Oh crap. Oh crap. Ah crap. Très intéressant, très intéressant. Oh crap. Whoever added this scale. Oh, the scale multiply wasn't even doing that. Let me take this back. In West Philadelphia, in the playground where I spent most of my days. Chilling on nice and relaxing on shooting some with a couple of guys who were up to no good. They started making trouble in the neighborhood. I got in little and my mom. Oh, shiza! Do you know what I was doing as well? I was making it so that it would push higher, or the scale would go up. But that's not necessarily what you always want because it could mean a run up is actually technically for something higher than it's not actually meant to be. So that would impact it negatively. So we need to get the jump scale unclamped as and how. And then we multiply the scale value after we get the Z scale. Stupid me. Yeah, this shouldn't even have any scale multiplier anyway. Look at that. Even with your auntie and uncle and Bella. Oh, no, forgetting your up to up about or and I to the looked them up and I was only there to just sit on my throne because I'm the Prince of Bel Air. Rebuild. Oh no, I can't rebuild because so this whole time I wasn't even rebuilding. Stupid me. Stop and rerun. Mm, 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 mm. Very hungry. Oh, I just want this game to be done so I can play it. Oh, man, imagine when this thing is actually done. I can't wait. Binge it every day of my life. Me. Thing is, we probably have. Hey, clown. We probably have 1,000 hours plus played already. Um, like we've done well over 100 streams. Well, over, all like averaging like. Well, I've done about 200 streams now total. Anyway, we're averaging about 5 hours. So just stream time is over 1,000. Let alone hours spent not streams, or when we're not on the stream, or we quit the stream, or that's not play. Like it's actually good. We're gonna release the final game this week, actually, in case you guys were unaware. Um, See, like there, right? It just took off midair. Oh yeah, crap. That's the last thing. Okay. Have I ever hit 1,000 hours on a game before? I have indeed, man. I have indeed. Oh, actual game. I thought you meant like 1,000 hours working on the game. I was like, we've definitely hit that. There's just no way we haven't hit that. Of actual pure just playing, no, we're nowhere near. Um, yeah, I have. It sounds sad. I have hit about. Have I hit 1,000? Or the closest was I ever got 700? I think it was like 700 or something, and that was over years of gameplay. Um, Mirror's Edge. Whoa, that's an insult before beyond belief. Let me just kick you from the stream real quick. I'm joking. I didn't. I slept. Oh, nice, clown. Welcome to the community. Yeah, clown. I slept a little bit on the train. Almost missed my stop, and then I had a nap. So I got to Dado's. I was like, "Yeah, Dado. Hey, how are you? Um, I'm gonna crash on your couch." um, did so for like 30 minutes, and then as I opened my eyes. Obviously, my brain is telling me, "Wake the fuck up." Um, and Drew and Dado were just there. I was like, "Oh, hello." No, I'm joking. I know. Um, yeah. Then Dado gave me some of his very, very strong coffee. Um, and I was wired for hours on it. I was like, let's go. I don't even think I've hit 1,000. I think it would have been Elder Scrolls Online, um, years ago. But I don't have 1,000 on that anymore. I don't even think I did hit 1,000. I must have got to like 700 or 600 or something. I don't think I did hit 1,000. Um, yeah, I didn't have time for that. Sadly, in VR chat. Very true. Um, we don't need you. Beautiful. Um, I want to get another. I want to get Oculus Quest. Quest 2 or Meta Quest 2. I want to get a new. I want to get a VR headset. I'll get that at some point. If you guys buy the game, no joke. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna feed myself. um, what am I doing here? So if the montage time is less than the greater than the earliest resting time, this is wrong. The end resting time, right? This is wrong because if it's -1, it's just gonna have it collisions off. Um, this should only be the case. I also don't like the fact that this is called multiple times. Oh, first thing I need to do before I do these, because let me just fix that scale thing. Um, yeah, no, Quest 2. I've played on the Quest 2. Um, yeah, me being the devilish person I am. My university, they asked me one time to be like, "Oh, hey, can you put this project you did onto the Oculus Go?" Because I made it on the Oculus Go, and I was like, "Yeah, go for it." So I made it. Put it on the Oculus Go, and they were like, "Oh, can you actually put it on the Quest 2 as well?" I was like, I knew very well I didn't because the APIs and stuff it worked with would not allow it. But I was like, "Yeah, sure, I could try," because obviously I just wanted to play around the Quest 2. I was like, it might take me a while to figure it out. So how long? I was like, maybe like 3 weeks. I knew in the first hour I was like, this is not happening. So I kept it for 3 weeks anyway. Um, uh, yeah, so I kept it for 3 weeks. Had a lot of fun with it, and then yeah, played around with it. Played some. VR is cool, man. It gets a lot of hate. Um, but then I feel like if you've actually played VR, it's just so much fun. Like I played this one like sword and a magic game, and man, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. Do you know what I mean? Guns. They got finessed. Played that for like 3 weeks. I was like, oh, yo, to everyone's like, come over, let's play on the Quest that the university has. I was downloading things left, right, and center. I was just having all the fun. And then I was like, after 3 weeks, I was like, oh, you know what? I spent 3 weeks really trying. They're like, you know what, David, thank you so much for all that hard work and effort. In 3 weeks of constantly trying to get it on. I was like, no, honestly, guys, it's okay. It's okay. I tried. It just wasn't meant to be. At this point as well, I had submitted my thesis. So I was just working on this. I was just in it, so I didn't even. I literally was just play. I was like playing this, working on the game, and then playing that, and then just living life. VR's brazy, man. I won't even lie to you. Like, it's a lot of fun. Like, when I'm actually in there, I'm like, yo, this shit kind of fun. This shit kind of fun. I can't lie to you. Set fly, climb, that is true. Update the thick points. I want to try something. There's something I would like to try. And that is basically Okay, cool. And then, alright, so this should hopefully do my scale multiplier nicely. Let me redo that. Yeah, VR found a shit, man. And like, I know Meta gets shit on a lot, right? But um, saw a video of what they're trying to do with it. Let me see if I can find it here. Mark, if you're seeing this, don't demonetize the stream, please, because I'm just showing one of your videos. God. I think it was Marquez Brown. He showed. I don't know where. It's like he's looking at the Metaverse Pro or something, or this. Who cares about the Metaverse? Whatever. It was like there's a part that he showed. I don't care. Let me skip this crap. Jesus, YouTube's no. Okay, so we can all agree that um this one here is a bit crappy, right? Like this, no one like this. Just looks like a Wii Sports character, right? But there is this, right? So it's like they were like, oh, this stuff sucks. But where is it? It's these the next one. So we're like, yeah. See, he told you this, right? Now this is when it gets like this is so like if you start interacting with people that look like that, right? Whole different story, like whole different story. Like this is nuts. Like imagine that was what your avatar looked like. Like deep it. Obviously, it's not in there right now, so it's like. But that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if that was actually what it was like. Then you're like, okay, maybe it's kind of cool. Maybe. I'm pretty sure that it generates the model. I think you do beforehand, so it generates the model and then it like adjusts based on whatever. Yeah, literally. It's photogrammetry, but it's like imagine it the act in VR it actually looked like that, right? Because obviously it doesn't, and then it's obviously like how much effort we spend just to render a scene or like a freaking bollard. Do you know what I mean? Imagine it's like oh you just throw on your headset, you throw on your headset, it just does it for you. You look really cool, um, and yeah, I was I wasn't gassing up the actual thing itself. I was gassing up the thought of that being in VR. Then it's pretty impressive to me. Like, because yeah, like you said, it's photogrammetry, but that takes us how many hours to do, and then it's not in VR either, is it? Right? Like, or it is, or it's like you're not doing the avatars like that in VR right now. So, but then imagine that is like plug and play, and your model's just created like that. Then it's like, oh, yo, it's pretty sick. Okay, this looks good. Okay, let's go into the wall now. Okay, a lot less going into the wall now, which is although you bump a little bit, but it's less. My character is inside this surface. I prefer collisions like this, just simply put. I still don't like them. Yeah, for now that's alright. For now, I'm gonna sort them out more. Let me check this in, because next I'm gonna do that takeoff thing. And then I guess the next thing to do now. I still don't like the fact that that vault gets done, but I'd rather it just do that for now. Okay, so let's see. Um, okay, so let's see. Oh, I need a toilet. Let's do this takeoff crap. So, like, if you're trying to take off in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't let you. So, um, that should be a filter, really. So let's do filter. Okay, go new. Yeah, and in filter, what should we call it? Not really surface width. Let's call it. What should the filter be? Grounded at takeoff, or like takeoff filter? No, surface takeoff surface. Yeah, because let's do takeoff surface. One of my resolutions this year was to learn parkour. That is one of my things I want to do. Once it gets a bit sunny, um, I promise you, I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna go outside and start doing it. I'm gonna record a video, because I also was saving on yesterday to try and actually start producing content for our YouTube. That is just better. Like I think when we earn anything, a bit of money to actually get a nice camera, and just like practice editing and just like produce like some good, like actually decent like game dev content, properly edited. Everyone better camera. I'll get better camera. Have proper setups. Stream more consistency with the streams in terms of visuals of that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just more consistency and a bit more quality. So yeah, that is the aim. And then we can do stuff like game devs try out parkour, which I think that'd be interesting to see. We'll be so shit at it. No, actually, I think I would be good. I'm backing myself. I think I'm gonna not be too shit. I think the thing is, I think I'm just gonna mentally struggle to actually do it. I think I'm gonna be like, that looks far, man. That looks far. That looks pretty far, dude. Gonna be so we say auto this. $100%. I mean, we'll hopefully have something like that, or game of like parkour, or game of story, or whatever, in the game where you set each other lines and you have to complete it, and if you don't, you get a letter, stuff like that. Like game modes, I generally think are like the last of our worries. Like the game modes of the game just tell like there is like you'll never be. It's not one of the things like. So what mode do we have? Do we have like a race and then skate or like, and then I say skate because that's not, but like parkour, and then do we have a? It's like the game modes are infinite, like escape, security chases, like time trials, like race the tube, like race something. Like there's just so many like team challenges, like water challenges, balance challenges, like reach the point exploration, like first person to the point, like reach a certain thing, collect it. Like there's just like a million different things you can do. Tag, like that's just just this game modes is like the last of thing to ever worry about. I'll be like, what game modes do we add? It's like, I don't know, watch a video, watch a story video, pick one. You know what I mean? Or watch any parkour video ever and just pick one. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, it's distance to take off. That's how far we are. Then what I'm gonna do is line trace, single, and then we say character owner, and then we say to be honest, you know what we could no, because it's actually this is animation dependent, isn't it? So, um, take this one. You have to do it for each one. But it's only a single line trace, isn't it? What? Take off trace is equal to yeah, take off trace is equal to no, just that. Let me say take off trace. Let me say origin is going to be character owner. Yeah, let's just do this. Hold on. Root bone. Um, yeah. So we get the root bone, and then we say yeah, root bone, and then we say what are we gonna say? I don't even know. Take off trace, bone plus character owner, get actor forward vector times by take off distance. So get the location, move it forward by however much, and then we say that's gonna be our trace start. And then we're gonna say the direction is gonna be F vector, down vector. Use the character, but it don't really matter. And then length, we're gonna say character owner, nominal max step height. And then we're gonna say draw debug capsule flag. We ain't even gonna add you because I don't really care about that for now. What don't you like here? There you go. Cool. And then we say if the return is gonna be if then it's just gonna be take off trace blocking hit. So if it has a blocking hit, that's gonna be true, which means you're gonna be grounded at your takeoff. It's pretty like roguish. It's just checking. It's a pretty basic check. And then if not, take off, altered out item, blah blah blah. String to string, return ret, and then we'll go into here, in here, and we'll just duplicate you, and then we'll take off surface, and then we'll save that. Rerun you. Might work, might not. Oh no! Sorry, no. I actually got what you meant about what you were trying to do. Yeah, because yours is more real life content, right? And it's like merges the two, which is really cool to see. And I mean, I hope we get to a point where we can like support that, right? And it'd be like, hey, look what this guy's doing. Do the same thing. And I encourage people to play the game and have fresh ideas, like stuff like that, and make content for it. Would be cool. Yeah, and then reward that as well. So yeah, we're talking about a competition that we're gonna do for probably 011 or 012, when the game is really like consistently playable. More brainstorming to come. What's funny is that we were talking literally like these are all the kind of ideas we came up with. We were discussing yesterday. Um, Same with stuff like well, later down the line tournaments based off of like each like store member. Yeah, all of this stuff. Yeah, 100%. I think we'll get like for 011 we'll do a submission competition. Because it's a really good way for us to get social media clips from you guys playing. And it's a really good way to get social media clips. And then reward wise, we'll do it for money, like like 100 quid. You mean like, I think we're all happy to put a bit of money online. Do you mean it's just like 100 quid? We'll pick 10 and then we'll put it on the Instagram and just let the people vote, and then the winner gets 100 quid. And the only way you can enter is by buying the game. That's it. You buy the game, enter, send us your clips, the best line, and then we can either do like a collective like face off two people against each other one by one and see who comes out top, or just be like, here are the 10 submissions, and each day post a new submission, whichever one gets the best likes, or this is submission 1, what do you think, this submission 2, over 10 days, because that's 10 days of content, right? Because we want to maximize it, right? And then on the 11th day or something, we'll be like, okay, do a poll, either Instagram or whatever, on all different things, or the YouTube and the Instagram, and then sort of like how we did with the Dave Down and stuff, and then whoever gets the most things, be like, they win the 100 quid. There you go. And then we can do for any big update, we just do another competition like that. And that should hopefully build hype, get people playing, get people buying, get people talking about it. Because there's money on the line. And then for the guys that won, it's like, well, I made my money back on the game plus more. And with less people playing, there's a way higher chance of you winning. So could be. I've not know. What's Tempest? Is it a game? Yeah. Anything that just involves the Discord community. Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, so oh shit. Okay, okay. It didn't pick an animation because it filtered it all out, but then you got stuck. Okay, so oh sorry. Actually, would you look at that? Code worked. Lovely, lovely jubbly. So I shouldn't pick. Oh, I picked that one, which makes sense. Nice. Oh, what's really cool is that. So this is the thing that I've always found. Like small changes can actually like really influence a lot of like always have like a really big. See that pull to slide, I hate, and it happens because of the collision, the time at which I set the collision. I set it for the start resting time, not the end resting time, which means it can be very poppy. I'll change that back, I think. Yeah, I hate that. No chance. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. I freaking hate that. This takeoff surface change though is really important. So like, what's crazy is that um, it's not always obvious, but like, as you make changes and improve, like stuff like this, like now this all of a sudden this change so that you can't step in thin air has now improved the selection and also now meant that other animations get picked because I thought that's the one thing we had like before. It's like there was a compound effect of like because everything would be thrown in the ring, you found like more of the certain type of animations because you naturally press the button in certain types. They're similar heights, so when that doesn't change much, certain animations come into play. But now that you add this, one small change could unlock like could it boost like variation like tenfold. Um, as you see there. I'm gonna go grab some food in a minute though. Scheiße. Yeah, I want to get some lunch. Oh, the running jump doesn't have it, but this does. Okay, let me go into the other level. Why was Dado having issues? He was having issues over here. What is. See, I have an issue. It's like when you vote, it doesn't. Maybe it wasn't my fault. Maybe it wasn't my code. Because I was like, why are the climbs doing that? But maybe it's not me. Maybe it's Dado secretly. Yeah, it's not me. Dado's broken the game. I love it when a problem that I think is my fault turns out not to be my fault. No nicer feeling. Yeah, see, because now, if I'm telling you now, if I climb twice, should be, yeah, look, yeah, see, my stuff isn't broken. My stuff works like a charm. S- sm- sm- Whoa, that is a interesting drop. Eesh. To pull up and climb, drop. Where was that having issues over here, was it? Eesh. So, before you could run and then do it, and they would let you vote again. Nice. You see, we love it when a bit of code works. Nice, you can't vault in midair no more. Or climb in midair anymore. That was actually a really key change. Climb up then. Thank you. What are you doing? Oh yeah, see now with Dada's blend change. Wow, those are two really key fixes. And with the changes I've made so far, they're actually. What is going on here? Something sus is going on. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Y'all said that I was finished. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished. When I bought that Estamati, y'all thought it was rented. Oh, Shiza. I know what's going on. I know what's going wrong. I know exactly what's going wrong. It's because. It's when, yeah, it's because the distance to takeoff is greater than the distance to the ledge. And because of that, yeah. Okay. It's because the distance to takeoff is greater than distance to ledge. Therefore, therefore, it means that the trace is actually happening inside the wall, and if it's inside the wall, it goes shoots down. It's like, can you pre-order? Yeah, you can get the game now. And play. You're gonna probably sometime this week. You'll play this version I'm playing now. Um, yeah, so you become a backer, and it's basically the same thing as a pre-order. You get the game when it releases, and it's 20 quid now. So if it should just be in the description, I think. If it's not, it's Guns' fault. Let me just check. It should, yeah. If you go in the description and it's store.com/video game, and then you can back it, and it tells you everything to do there. Um, in the whole shebang, basically. So yeah. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, the change I made now was actually really important. Seemingly, I just got to make this thick quick. Then I'm gonna grab some food. But that was a really important change because going around now feels 10 times more fluid. And with Dado's change to full, everything's just coming together, man. Yeah, no, yeah, the rolls we're gonna. So first of all, the roll with the head into the wall is just a bit. There's too much rolling going on. We don't have as much falls as we like. So when you see a lot of everything, bear in mind that we don't actually have all the animations that we're gonna add, and we're gonna mocap loads, and is also like all that stuff. There, bloody guns' fault. Okay, so yeah, no, we're gonna add Kooky and more mocap, record different stuff and everything. Just need you guys to back the game. Cheers. Awesome, Connor. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. Yeah, the if you go in the Discord when you join and you put your backer thing and you have that all sorted, you should see on the download link you can get the not this version but one that we released a couple of weeks ago, like a week or two ago. This one is 30 times better. Jen, I can't even lie. Um, so we'll release it this week, hopefully, if not next week. And then we're gonna probably like 2-3 weeks. We're gonna do a big 010 release. And then that will have UI, menus, main menu, bunch of time trials, and different all this shit together. And then it's more of a completed product that we're gonna push a bit more. But yeah, this version that we're doing now is so much better. It's got the UI back in. That's just nicer. Yeah, it's cool. Which is Guns has been doing. So we shit on him a lot, but Guns has been doing loads of work as well. Like he does smash it out too. So credit where credit is due. Guns is doing his thing. He's doing his thing. And he's made a really cool tutorial thing as well, actually, where it's like a controller that we can change stuff all around. So he's done that really well as well. So that'd be cool. So you guys can have like, you'll be able to showcase your controls and stuff. So the stuff he's done there is really cool. So that'll be that's also really useful, really useful. But he still breaks like 90% of stuff. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. So let's see here. Now this work is fine. So we just need to check that if the distance to take off is less than the ledge distance. Pretty easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and that's an easy check too. Oof, look at this. If the distance to take off is less than the distance to the ledge, right? So if the distance to take off is less than the distance to the ledge, then I want you to give me the distance to take off candidate. Otherwise, give me 0. See, and that is the only change we needed to make. And watch this work like a charm now. If it doesn't work, it's not because my code is bad. It's because Guns broke it. And Dado broke the. I don't know if you can hear me, but if you can, Dado, you broke the ledge selection. Just saying. Once we add IK in properly. Yay! It actually picked an animation. Woohoo! Ooh. Woohoo! Doesn't filter out stuff anymore. Wow, it really filters out a bunch though. Jesus. Takeoff surface filtered out. I don't know if I like that it's filtering out all that stuff. No, I don't know if I like that. Hold up. Why is it filtering out? It shouldn't filter out any animation because of this, realistically. Um, if the distance to takeoff is less than the ledge distance, why are you filtering out? I mean, I want it to filter out, but not in that scenario. It has no reason to. Um, highly sus. Oh, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Took my cup, put some liquor in it. Do do do. Do do do. I mean, I can just give it a little bit of a, you know what I mean? A little bit of a nudge. A little bit of a nudge. Um, basically what I'm thinking is if the distance to take off is less than the edge distance minus like a little leeway. So it's like, because then it should be zero, right? If the distance takeoff is less than how far we are from the ledge, do the trace, and then the trace is coming back wrong. So otherwise, I wanted just to do zero. But what I wanted to do is be like, if the distance to take off is, I guess, then less than that minus a little bit more. So be like, pick it if it's a little bit smaller. So, I don't know, you know. Alright, hold up. Hear me out. Let me see how this works. Oh, but maybe it's at a slope. You know what? Let's draw debug. Hold up. I mean, it works. It actually does work. I'm gonna check it in, but you know, it is. We're in pre alpha. Um, and Guns has you the the exact answer. 2 years from whenever you say it's whenever you ask. Why are you picking that guy? Hmm? Hmm? What do you mean? Why did none of them hit? Oh, I'm so very stupid. I'm so very stupid. It's the classic. Um, yeah, it's a classic case of this is Gun's fault again, but it's a classic case of yeah. Now, see, I can imagine it's quite annoying, especially if you're trying to work beside me. So like, Dad has muted his headset probably because it probably sounds pretty annoying when you're trying to code and the guy in the chat with you is like, yeah, but the numbers are not mathing. But I like to do it because I guess a lot of people don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I vocalize it and so that it makes more sense, the process of what's going on in my head, basically. Um, so that hopefully it just decomposes it because it's not as it's less complicated than it's complicated but less complicated. So then when I say what I'm doing, you know why I do what I do. Um, yeah, there's a floating point error because the root is on the ground. But if I start the trace on the ground, if it starts there, shoots down, it can start not colliding. So I just need to raise it by the normal of the surface, so just up a little bit. So I can just do this. Well, I can just do a little cheeky, little plus a little F vector, up vector. See, stuff like this, understanding that it's like a floating point error and that you're starting a trace on the ground. Before I would have been like, oh, move up 10, but you just need to add it to the normal, so it moves up 1. Little what you learn as you go. You learn as you go. I hate animation with a passion. Also need to add IK for it. See, I love that it steps up there sometimes now. There we go. See, now those animations don't get filtered out. How lovely. Ugh. See, oh, that's the next thing I gotta do. That's the very, and it's actually really important. It's when you're jumping, if my character rotates away, the yeah, the actual freaking, what's it called? The actual like, I guess the ledge point during from phase to takeoff, especially if you have a long phase to take off time, so a little big blending time, it can change by quite a bit, which is very dangerous in theory, because see, the one thing with that is that a 1.5 scale there is going to really require the IK to do a lot of work, but that's it's gonna whoa, bang, roll, catch, jump, sprint, single leg hop, or not. Single leg hop. Nope, it doesn't want to do that. Okay. Okay, these are really good changes. Now, I think the next key change that I need to make is I need to, basically need to get it so that it doesn't freaking. See, why you ain't picking something freaking faster than that? I'm gonna prioritize speed a little bit more. You're freaking sprinting. You should not be picking that shit. But yeah, I'm gonna. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do something. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I need to basically just determine the sake of speed. No, that's so wrong. I don't like that. We're gonna take it back to whatever it was. Yeah, I need to basically like almost limit how much that ledge point that we detect can move, so that it's not like, because I already do a check to make sure that the normal of which you pick, once you've picked a ledge and you're now in a climb, the normal of the ledge that you then pick during takeoff cannot change to a different one. So you can't go onto a different normal wall. But the issue with that is that ain't going to stop you from sliding down the current wall you're on. I think what it needs to be is that, well, we could do two things, right? Well, we could do a couple of different ways. We can do it so that the distance from the original ledge point doesn't go beyond something, or like, so you don't move too much either way, or we do it so that the the rotation to the edge point doesn't go more, so you don't ever slide off more than like when your original point, it doesn't ever go beyond a certain angle. We could just do a distance value, I think. So we save our original ledge point, and then we just can, when we pick up a new one, we check that the distance to that is within a certain range, and then if so, it's like okay, but it's only ever to the original point. And if so, we say okay, at this point, don't pick up any more because you're just going too far along the wall. And that should stop you warping down the wall as well. You can still adjust it within a region, like within a certain distance, right? But you can't freaking start pulling your character left, right, and center. Right, so what we can even do, what's even better, is that we can check, so much better. We can check that the what's it called? The distance to the character doesn't go too far. Because then it's quite techy to get the right distance along the wall that you can turn. Because for some animations they might be different, right? So if we say we make it dependent on how far forward you're moving and whatnot, and then you can sort of be like, okay, well, in that scenario, don't allow the new point to be that much further than the takeoff. So like, if my ledge distance to the wall when I pick the point is gonna be what, like a meter, right? And I know that the distance between my character's takeoff and landing is 2 meters, right? So then I can say, well, the new point can be no more than zero. Wait, that makes no sense. If I know that the distance to the wall is a meter, and my character thing is a meter as well, that's the distance from my character when it picks up the wall. The distance away that my character is whatever, because it's picked up the width and everything like that. I can then say, okay, well, the new distance can be no greater than 1.2 of whatever the original distance was, or like, and then 0.8. So it can't be much closer or much further, basically. Which should hopefully, because then if you move it like this, the distance won't change much. But if you start to increase it wide, it says, nice, you're at the limit there, mate. You're at the limit there, matey. So hopefully then it doesn't impact it too. I think that's the right way to do it. Let me try and do that now, actually. I think this works fine. Why did you pick this fucking animation? See, yeah, just need more coverage, I think. Just don't have the cover on. That animation actually moves faster than the other ones, which is funny. You wouldn't think it, but it really does. Um, okay, yeah, I'm gonna check this in. That's a good change. Making some really good changes today, actually. A lot of improvements. What was the fix we just made? I don't even remember. Oh yeah. No, it's gonna be filter. Take off surface filter. And then next thing we're gonna do. What time is it? Oh, I'm starving. Okay, let me just do this line trace one, because then at least then I can get food without feeling guilty, and then I can be like, I'm gonna get my food, enjoy my episode of Andor, and then come back. Me and Dad can work straight on the vaults, and after, or actually, there's a bug that I realized. Dado.
Hey, dude.
Oh, hey, Dado. Yeah, no, I'm just
Sorry, I'll just go headphone mode on.
Oh
Yeah, so
I expected it. It gets really annoying when I start explaining all the code I'm doing to the stream, because for you it's like, why is this junior talking about shit code?
without
No,
my permission.
yeah, no, I was saying this it wasn't to solve now because I'm gonna make one more change and then add one more, fix one more thing, and then I'm gonna go grab food. But I just wanted to make a note of it. Basically, when you vault, and then you climb after. So you vault off something. Can you see? I show much, but basically, when you jump or you vault over a ledge or whatever, or a wall or something, and then you go to climb, it pulls you back to the previous vault ledge. So
Oh
I think
yeah, that bug.
there's
Yeah.
something there going on where it doesn't get reset or something. But we can, when we do the climbs, the vaults together tonight, we can just have a look at that. It's not like it doesn't affect what I'm doing right now. So I just wanted to, before I forgot it or was like, why is this happening?
Yeah, that was a problem when we like it went back to like
yes, teleports back, right? Yeah,
it was back. Like, did you fix that? Did you say that you fixed that at the beginning? It
No.
was
That
another
teleport back, I haven't fixed that. It's because that's the problem. I'm letting you know now. I fixed the vault jumping and the climbing in midair. And it was one of those things where it was funny because it. How do I put it? Like, by eliminating some animations right off of that thing, right? It all of a sudden, just with that takeoff surface stuff, it weirdly brought in like more coverage. Like, it sounds really weird, right? But it brought in more, like, other animations started getting picked because the invalid ones weren't getting picked over them, basically. So yeah, no, just there's just more animations getting played now, which is always nice. Just a random thing.
I was thinking about that, like that bug with when you teleport back to, where you like where you were before. I made some changes there in that code, so they probably have some knock-on effect on that bug.
It seems like a pretty easy solve, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be anything too hard. It actually seems like a pretty straight, because it's a totally reproducible problem. Like, you just have to vault and then climb, and it'll do it. So.
Okay, so it's like fall and climb, and then it happens.
Yeah, so it's like vault for let me fire out my thing. I'll just share my screen. Let's just have a look. What was the other problem to solve? Oh yeah, the distance. Let me make a note. Yeah.
Well, because but I'm not sure that it's gonna be an easy fix though. Okay, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. Because from what I can see, I've added a function I can find the ledge, classic like function there. And I think that is the problem. Like if you can't find the ledge, you basically have the same information as the last time, right? But the climbing things there is still valid, even though can't find the ledge hasn't been run for that amount of time, right?
Yeah, there's something there going on where we have a disconnect that we just need to I see. Yeah, the climb stuff. Yeah, because I think it's because the problem is, although we don't because the issue is this, that the ledge doesn't stop becoming valid because it's technically invalid, right? But then the climb is like, oh, valid, pick the thing, like the scales, even though the scale and shit should be crazy. But it's because I don't have, the reason why before it wasn't a problem is because now I don't account for the negative forward scale, right? Like, it's only the what's it called? Yeah, you can't be too far forward because the climb thing. So you're just gonna hit a wall, aren't you? It's like no, because I'm past the wall. It's not because
but that is wrong anyway. Yeah.
Well, no, it wouldn't, because the ledge wouldn't get picked up if you're past the wall. And it's wrong because the ledge is theoretically the data of the ledge is still true as a valid ledge, which once you finish whatever move you're doing, it needs to go back to false. And then the climb, if I try and climb, it won't say this ledge is valid. You know what I mean? And then there's still some sus. Even still, it should still be like, no, that's too far. So,
but it's good that he's having that behavior, because that is gonna help us fix. Because if we had that filter, then we would have noticed a lot more. We wouldn't have noticed this bug. So logically, it's wrong that he thinks that the ledge is
valid
behind
but
you.
It's also it's like two fixed things we need to fix, but one problem exposed both problems, right? So it was It was
Yeah.
good.
But I think like for that one, right? So the now I basically say don't do find the ledge only if your condition of is in climb. What is the condition? Let me check.
It's
Is
climbing.
in no you added another one. It's as taken off in climb.
Oh, has
Okay.
taken off and climbed. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, I think that like the problem is that if you are in that condition, right, and you trigger another climb, then like you will never find a new ledge, right? Because you say, no, I'm not gonna find a new ledge because I'm taken off in a climb, so I need to bail out. And so like theoretically, right? If we run find the ledge all the time, which is almost what I'm doing now. So basically now I added in the folder manager I've added can find the ledge, right? Like that I check if the condition are good. So basically you need to land basically, right?
Mm.
After you land is game on. It's just you just as soon as you land you can find another ledge, and that fixed that like thing that it will basically now uh go onto another ledge straight after, right? And I think we can also remove ease jumping from the
Mm.
find ledge, because even if you're jumping, who cares, just find the ledge, right? Because that
Yeah.
is actually going to be really useful for the wall hang, right? So no, what's the name, arm jump, right? Like that is gonna be you jumping and there, yeah, but keep finding the
Keep
the,
finding
the
the
ledge.
ledge, right? Yeah.
So basically, all we're left with is has taken off in climb, and that little bit of the fall, right? Even though I really think that even in the fall, you should be able to still find the ledge.
Yeah.
It's well, anyway, but what I'm saying is,
But that being said, though, hold on. We that has taken off in climb. We can get rid of that too, because I can just say don't
so that we
update this.
want, yeah,
Because actually I don't know why I did that, because rather than saying, because the reason why I stopped the trace was I was like, okay, performance wise it's heavier to do the trace than, you know what I mean. I was like, oh, let's not do the trace unnecessarily, right? But then if
mm,
we want more variation and we need to keep updating the ledge, right, I can just say stop updating the sig point. That's no issue.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, so if you remove that, then you will probably fix that bug.
Yeah, and that being said, the change that I was gonna make now as well should actually be linked to the thing I was gonna look at before. The change I was gonna make was gonna be like the updated sync point during the phase to takeoff shouldn't be too far away from from the original distance that we would pick the first ledge up when we first pick the animation, so that you don't, those warps where you slide down, like as the character turns it picks up a point way further away for you and it's just like phew.
Yeah.
It does that. But I think with that being said, there should be no reason why that shouldn't be in the trace, man. The fine ledge that should be, don't pick up a new sync point that is greater than 1.3 or something distance that the original sync point was, so we know we're minimizing how much we're gonna pull.
Yeah.
Which that makes so much sense. No, honestly, yeah, no, okay. I'm glad we discussed this actually, because that changes completely how I'm gonna do that approach. Let me quickly grab food. I'm gonna have lunch, and then when I come back, I'm gonna get rid of the has taken off and climb in the fine ledge.
Yeah, actually, like wait until I check in my fixes. So, my
That's cool.
fixes are done, right? And so the only thing that I need to add is, in order for them to work, I mean, I need to add two things, but I'm gonna do it in two stages. But I made a big important change into the character, no, into the MVP. And which fixed like that strange stuttering that sometimes happen, like after a landing or after a climb, like the character would just like would just stutter, right? It just really, I always hated that. It was just like one frame in which you just glitch over.
Yeah.
So the reason for that is because it took me ages to understand this thing. But I'm gonna share my screen quickly.
Yeah, sure.
It's okay. So if you look at my screen, actually, let me. So what I've added here is every time it does a slot, right? I run an initialization node. Now that looks like incredibly stupid, right? But there might be another way to do it. But if I don't do this, right? Let's say that I was actually, I'll show you what happens if I don't do this. Look, if I don't do this and I do it like it was before.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes jump, falling, and locomotion. I tried to swap the order here to check if that was the problem, but that wasn't the problem. But have a look at what happens here, right? If we go here right now, we jump here, we do the thing, and then now look, like it's doing a roll, okay? So it's doing a roll, and then look what happened without the
It
initialization.
slides, yeah.
You see, like, you see that
Yeah.
strange, right? And therefore, like, and the trick forever, like all the blind times were correct. Like, the way to do it is like you need to, because the blend mode is inertialized, right? You need to basically run from what I understand, you need to run the initialization for every of these slots because the blending mode is inertializing them. Right? So now, if I run the initialization after each slot, it will just we just correctly blend, right? So we do okay, right? You landed, and then you see like
yeah.
Oh, what's it? What the heck? Did I forget something? Oh, what's that? I forgot something. Why did it? So 1, 2. Whoa! One sec. Why?
Sus.
Sorry, discard that because that didn't work at all. I mean, it was working. It worked earlier. What the hell is going on?
No, but it looks better already between the two of the slots, right? Between the
Yeah, it did. It's
fall
just
and
like why? Like what? Whoa. Something happened. Let me. So, falling. Let me get this one here. It's falling is the last one. I don't know if the order makes any difference. But let me play animals before. Well, if this doesn't work, then I'm gonna check my changes in, and then we fix it because there is no reason why that should be
snap, yeah.
Should do that, right? See, then it just does it. It's like
Is there
like,
going to be
I
a
don't.
problem with the fact that some of the climbs use a standard blend in? Will that impact it?
Oh, one sec. Yeah, maybe that is. Okay, let me get. So
I'm
if we get.
I'm gonna grab some food quick. I'll check in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
check
sure,
in some
yeah.
of my changes, that
Yeah.
I've made, into dev, and then basically changes I made is I fixed the in-air stuff, some more filtering changes. What else did I do? I made a couple. Some more filter adjustments, clean up some of the code in there. I moved the scale multiply out of that function. So it's actually going to be separately for a reason in particular. And then, that takeoff surface change, which is like really key actually. So I'm going to grab lunch, and then when I come back, I'm going to do the update sync point fix for that. I'm actually going to improve that.
And here we go. We got it.
Oh, is it working? Nice.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was playing with the code. Yeah, so like basically, if you like, see, I think if you see here, like, of course, like this is a blend between a roll and a non-roll. So
non-roll.
just like But at
Oh, but
least
that's
it
still
does
like
something,
considering that
right?
it's a blend between a roll and a non-roll. It's still very
Yeah,
good,
and
right?
like if you see in runtime, it just don't
Don't even,
it
yeah.
just
I mean, it should pick a better animation now as well. Now with some of the changes I've made, so
yeah.
yeah, because it won't pick that one anymore. Basically, that
Yeah.
and
So
yeah. So okay,
So
yeah.
the thing is that is we may don't even need all this madness, but yeah, the key thing is I think right. It does the flicky the glitchy stuff.
Mhm.
If one of the two nodes it goes between initialization and not initialization. I think it does that thing. So we
Ah,
either do everything initialize or
or we
anything
don't.
blend. I don't know.
Okay.
I'll play a bit more,
Play
but
around
that
with
is
which
the
you think is better. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not too fussed about that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah,
yeah, excellent. Okay, so I
cool.
think we fixed pretty much everything.
Yeah, a lot of big
Almost.
fixes. Yeah, really big fixes. All right, cool. Just a big vault
That's one.
update. Awesome, sweet. I'll
Yeah,
check my stuff in now,
yeah.
and then grab them. Hopefully, it should. What I don't know what the fuck this change is. Cloud testing you, man. Screw it. Let's just push it in. And then yeah, grab that, and then grab your stuff. If you stick your stuff in there, and then I'll grab everything in a bit from Dev. Shouldn't have any clashes really. Although I did make some changes to the filter, but there shouldn't be any clashes there. So cool, awesome, Dada. I shall catch you in a bit. I don't know if you want to start streaming yourself, or just when I get back from thingy, we'll crack on again. But it's up to you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll wait until you get back, and then we go.
Cool.
Yeah, we
It'll be
do
like
a
30 minutes
session
till now.
together.
Gonna watch an
Yeah,
episode of
just
Andor.
kind of write some code.
Sweet stream. That was actually a really good stream. I think we averaged like 10 plus viewers or something. I don't know, which I know sounds
Oh, nice.
ridiculous, but
Yeah, good.
yeah,
All right. Well,
do that.
thank
So
you a
yeah,
lot, all the streamers. And
awesome stream. Yeah, sweet. I shall see you guys all in a bit. Peace. We'll do another stream
catch you in a
later
bit.
today as well. Of similar stuff.